HarperCollins presents The Plot Twist by Eleanor Goymer, read by Cicely Whitehead. Prologue. So, without further ado, will you all please join me in congratulating Allie Edwards on the publication of her 7th novel, The Wish List. Verity Montague Forbes put her hands together in applause and stepped off the small stage which had been erected in the bookstore. She grinned at Allie, her star author, and then wrapped her arms around her in a hug. Verity whispered in her ear, "This one is going to be your best seller so far, and I'm already excited about the next book." Allie breathed in Verity's words. She was excited too. She was on a roll, 6 bestsellers in a row, and it looked like this new one might smash them all out of the park. She took a deep breath, tucked a strand of her wavy hair behind her ear, and listened to the applause, savouring the moment and trying to block out the whooping she could hear from the back of the bookstore, which was almost certainly coming from her friends Tom and Jess, who somehow didn't know, or more likely didn't care, that whooping at a book launch was frowned upon by the publishing elite. Luckily, the publishing elite were not in attendance at Daunt's on Marylebone High Street on a rainy Tuesday evening in September, and so the whooping didn't matter. While Allie was a bestseller for Brinkman's, her publishing house, she was neither literary nor highbrow. And therefore her book launch party was attended by friends and family, her long-standing editor Verity, and the sales and marketing team at Brinkman's, who were honestly indifferent as to Allie's genre of writing, but they did love her sales figures, and the free wine. Allie walked the couple of steps up onto the stage, and turned to look out at the small crowd of people who had come to celebrate her. She waved at the sales manager who had been the person to call her and tell her that pre-orders of this, her 7th novel, were higher than the last 2 combined. And she grinned at Jess, her best friend, who she could see standing at the back next to her husband Tom, clutching not 1 but 2 free glasses of wine. Allie felt a warm sensation inside her, something akin to happiness, which she decided to focus on, rather than focusing on the person who was missing, the person who should have been at the front of the crowd supporting her, her personal romantic hero, her very own leading man, her boyfriend, Dominic. But she didn't want to think about Dominic, certainly not tonight, and often in recent weeks, hardly ever. She wanted to enjoy the moment of celebration which sometimes felt so far off when she was in the thick of writing, during those moments when she was failing to untangle a plot thread or had forgotten the name of her latest main character. She couldn't believe she had got to where she was currently standing, which was a bookstore in London where a publishing house, her publishing house, was throwing a party to celebrate her 7th book. And then, at other moments, like this one, when she caught the eye of her sister Martha in the audience, and it looked like she might be on the verge of tears, or saw Verity raising a glass of, albeit slightly warm, Chardonnay to toast her, she absolutely bloody could believe it, and she loved it. "Thank you," she said, at the same time pointing her finger warningly at Tom, who had now put his fingers to his mouth as if he was about to start wolf-whistling at her. He lowered his hands and looked sheepish, which made her smile. Allie was not a natural public speaker, but she knew the drill. By now she could remember the people she needed to thank, and the praise she needed to heap on her publishers and the booksellers present. And she also knew to keep it brief. Despite what they might say, people were here for the free wine and canapes, not to hear her rabbiting on. "Thank you," she said again as the room went quiet, waiting for her to speak. "If you told me 8 years ago that I was about to sell a book to that wonderful woman over there," she pointed at Verity, who smiled shyly, "I wouldn't have believed you. I was 25 and earning rubbish money writing copy for an advertising agency. I'd always dreamed of writing romances, as my sister Martha will attest to. Martha, apologies for all those terrible love stories I made you sit and listen to." Martha smiled indulgently, and the tops of her ears went slightly pink. "But I didn't know it was something I could really do, and Also, how many people and how much belief and support it takes.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?